A big news coming in. Israel has launched a preemptive strike against Iran to confront imminent threats to the state. Israel has in fact closed its airspace. Defense Minister Israel Katz has declared a special nationwide state of emergency, warning that a missile and drone attack on Israel's civilian population is expected imminently. Israel Airports Authority Transport Minister closes Israel airspace to civilian flights. Israel's military said it had protectively sounded air raid sirens in areas across the country to prepare the public for the possibility of missiles being launched towards Israel in retaliation. So this is big news that we are tracking. Israel has launched a preemptive strike against Iran to confront imminent threats to the state, and Israel has closed its airspace. Israel Katz has declared a special nationwide state of emergency. DD India's Akshay Dongre joins us for more. Akshay, what more you can tell us?
Initial information is concerned, we are getting to know that three explosions have been heard in the downtown Tehran, according to the Iranian media. And what we are also hearing is that several other areas have also reported similar kind of explosions in the downtown part of the country, especially the capital Tehran. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz has said that the country has launched a preemptive attack on Iran and has also announced the state of emergency in Israel in anticipation of retaliatory strikes. So it's natural that if Israel is taking such an action, they will be prepared for any kind of retaliation coming in from Iran. In the recent days, we have seen that Donald Trump, in today morning statement itself, he said that he was not happy with the outcome of the negotiation that have been taking place between the two countries. He said that Iran has to say no to uranium enrichment completely. And also, what we were seeing is a constant military buildup, including F-22 Raptors that were being deployed in Israel, USS Abraham Lincoln, the carrier group already being in the area. Other equipment was being mobilized in that part of the world. So the US, the Israel, they had an idea. Sort of preparation was also going on before such a full swing attack that has been carried out by Israel, and this is happening just 2 days after Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also there. So what we can see is that it is a measured and very calculated step that was taken by Israel. Now all eyes will be on the retaliation and what form of retaliation will be coming in from Iranian side, because Iran, reminding our viewers, also holds a massive arsenal of ballistic missiles, of long-range missiles as well. So it is going to be quite challenging for Israel to now prevent any sort of attack coming in from Iran. But the reason still remains unclear, because the negotiations have been taking place, Abhishek. The negotiation have been were supposed to also take place in the next week. 2 rounds of talk were expected. So whether Israeli government had taken permission from the US or have they done it on their own, that remains a big question right now. But it's highly unlikely that without US permission or US approval, Israel would take such a drastic measure as far as striking Iran is concerned. The tensions now at an all-time high once again. We saw the last time these kind of attacks took place, the entire area, the entire region, when it comes to the West Asian countries, they were embroiled in a quite difficult situation, especially given the fact that already instability persists in that part of the world. So situation will be monitored by the major countries around the world. In fact, the global bodies as well. Initial information is just trickling in right now. But as far as the region that is attacked is concerned, some clarity now emerging that Jamhuri Square and Hassanabad Square are near these areas has been seen rising in the capital city of Tehran. So the situation remains quite grim, and obviously there is going to be a calculated and a major retaliation that will be planned, and that would have been planned already. In fact, and that will be carried out by Iran as far as the Israeli strike is concerned. and the Israeli government does realize that a strike against civilian areas, a strike against the country is now quite imminent. And whether the Israeli Iron Dome and Israeli air defense systems will be able to handle the Iranian strike, that is a big question. But we also will have to see that whether U.S. Comes out also in support of Israel as far as this action is concerned, or whether they are going to mediate a ceasefire between the two countries.
Yes, Akshay, and like you said, situation remains quite grim, and these are in fact the live visuals that we are showing you. Israel has declared a nationwide state of emergency and closed its airspace. Also, Akshay, any idea, I mean, what measures are currently in place to protect the civilians?
Well, when it comes to civilians, we'll have to talk about both civilians of Israel and civilians of Iran. The situation is obviously more complicated now that Israel has carried out preemptive strikes, because when it comes to the areas that have been struck, they are also in the capital city of Tehran. So, that is also a risk to civilian lives. Now, we'll have to wait for some more information to see that what area has exactly been targeted, what area has been attacked now, and whether there have been some civilian casualties of Iranian people. Second, if you carry out such an attack against a powerful adversary, you obviously have to have prepared against any kind of retaliation. Israel obviously has a great system of preventing its own civilian population from any kind of missile strikes, any kind of drone attacks. They have bunkers almost in every housing society. They have a widespread network of these bunkers to prevent the population from these missile strikes. So Israel is, you can say, far more prepared than Iran, but also they have carried out an attack against Iran. And if there are civilian casualties in Iran, then there will be no holding back the retaliation coming in from the Iranian regime.
Absolutely. We are tracking these fast-moving developments in West Asia. For the benefit of our viewers, Akshay, can you tell us what exactly has in fact unfolded between Israel and Iran in the last few hours?
Well, to sum it up with the information that is now trickling in, Israel has launched what it called a preemptive strike against Iran today morning. And according to the Defense Minister Israel Katz of Israel, a state of emergency has been declared across. The government has declared the state of emergency because there are expectations of Iranian retaliation with drones and ballistic missiles. And if you talk about the capability of Iran when it comes to ballistic missiles, it is next to none. They hold some of the most capable ballistic missiles that they have developed on their own, and then the missiles that they have also procured from Soviet Union earlier and Russia now. So the situation will have to be monitored. Yes, Israel is confident in its Iron Dome system, missile defense systems, but you can never be sure when it comes to war, and you can never be too sure when it comes to protecting your people, because the scale of retaliation will have to be monitored now. Because after in a state of war, if you are attacked, if there is a preemptive attack, then you cannot blame your adversary of carrying out a much larger attack. That is the rule of conflict, that is followed in major parts of the world. Iran now can say that, see, we did not attack Israel. They launched an attack on us, and now there will be no questions on the scale of our retaliation against the country.
Also, news just coming in: Iran Supreme Leader Khamenei is not in Tehran, has been transferred to a secured location according to reports, and also trading at Tehran Stock Exchange has been suspended according to Iranian media. Akshay, what do we make of this? Khamenei has been transferred to a secure location.
Well, that is the first step. You cannot disclose the information about your supreme leader, especially in a state of war. Iran did this earlier as well when there were attacks on Fordow and other nuclear sites by the US B-2 bombers. And Khamenei was the first person who was moved to a secure location to ensure that the chain of command, the leadership remains intact, that leadership stays there, guiding on what to do as far as these critical times are concerned. But also, this was a natural step. But the most important thing right now to monitor is the scale of retaliation, and also the mediation efforts by other countries like China, like India, and like other major world bodies like United Nations. because there has to be a consolidated effort by the world to bring an end to this conflict and not let it scale up. Because if it scales up, it is going to be extremely devastating, not just for the region, but for the global economy as well.
Also, news coming in, US Embassy in Qatar implements shelter in place for all personnel. Akshay, any information regarding the scale and impact of these strikes?
Well, no, Abhishek, it's just very preliminary information that is coming in. So we do not have any other information besides the one that has been given as far as the explosions are concerned. The Iranian media, as we have, are talking about 3 explosions that they are reporting, and Israel Defense Minister calling this a preemptive strike against Iran. But preemptive strike against what exactly, that remains unclear, because Iran was not planning to launch an attack on Israel anytime soon. There were no indications coming in of that. So we'll have to wait and watch to see what happens now in the future. Especially the next few hours are going to be extremely important as far as the situation on the ground.
And also, also Akshay, any reaction from major global powers?
Well, it's too early, Abhishek. As of now, we are tracking major reactions coming in, but it's just too preliminary information for the world leaders to react. Everyone is monitoring the situation, but they should be coming anytime soon now. As far as the global leaders are concerned, they will have to make a sense of the situation. It's most certainly the global powers would be jumping in to bring an end, or rather to bring an end to the action by both the sides, because retaliation will only invite retaliation. And at this point in time, the biggest thing and the most important thing is to bring an end to this conflict, which can risk a lot as far as the regional countries are concerned.
All right.
The regional countries also have a huge stake as far as this retaliation as well as the widening of the conflict.
All right, Akshay, thank you for the time being. But yes, we'll keep taking updates from you. But according to Israeli defense official, Israeli operation in Iran coordinated with United States, and the official added that the operation was in fact planned for months and launch date was decided weeks ago. It's a developing story and we'll keep getting updates to you. That's it for the time being.